Okay. Sound läuft. Kamera läuft, Timer läuft. And we're back.
So again, to summarize this complex topic of why we need emotional education. If we look at the world nowadays, there's a lot of corruption going on. We have high leading politicians, high leading economists, and there's a lot of exploitation. Some people have a lot of money, others don't, even if you look from the different countries. And then you would go into the spiritual and think, the spiritual people, they are good people. Yeah, but you will find out there's the same corruption with money and with sex and exploiting other people. And actually, the root of this is there's this lack of emotional integrity. Because they are still needy, because they haven't found that state of really true spiritual happiness and eudaimonia. And we should educate the people from a very early age, not by teaching them, but make them, how do you feel when you do this? So they get a sense of how they feel. And, step by step, like you learn numbers, you learn a language, you learn maths, the same you can do with emotional education and ethics, morals, what is right, what is wrong. The sense of honor needs to be educated, all Aristotle said this. And only the people with the highest degrees in those subjects can lead a company, can lead a society, and the others don't. No matter, we have to be very strict like this in this area. We have to discuss, maybe in Germany 1 is the best grade and 6 is the worst. So we have to discuss, they need to have at least a 2 in the subject. But maybe we should say a 1. This point we should discuss. But if they don't, no matter how good economists they are, no matter how good engineers they are, no matter how good they are in their professional subject, they can't lead because there's a lack of emotional integrity. We cannot give leading positions to people who in their emotional development behave like little children, because it will create, you see, we live in a chaotic world, in a very imbalanced world, and it's about really we need a world of justice and love. And this needs to be educated, and the people who are able to this the most, we should only give those leading positions. And this goes back actually to ancient Greek philosophy, because Plato wrote and he said only philosophers can lead a society. Because why? And this is the reason, and this leads to emotional education. Because the philosopher is detached, not in that he mastered his needy part. He mastered his passions. I want this, I want that, I need that car, I need that woman, I need that man, whatever. They mastered it, and they came to that state where they're not needy in that way of I need this and I will corrupt myself and others, because it's like a drug. They're dependent on it. So they get independent of those wrong consuming the material world. It's not about denying the material world, but they are not consuming it. They don't use the material things as drugs. So that was actually the approach. Only those are able to lead, the philosophers. But actually it's about that attitude that a true philosopher cultivated in their life through spiritual practice. And in the same way, we should have emotional education. And also why I like craftsmanship, this is I want to add for the end. In the craftsmanship, there's also this sense you cannot separate the professional education from the moral education. What does it mean? If you're a goldsmith, and Richard Sennett wrote, for example, about it. If you do good goldsmithing, you make beautiful jewelry. You're a genius in creating that art of goldsmithing. But you lie with the material, you lie with the price, you're done. Because in the traditional guild, you got thrown out. Because you haven't mastered your profession if you haven't mastered your ethics, which means you haven't mastered your emotions, you haven't mastered what is right and what is wrong. And if you can't feel as important, if you think the warm, you're superior to the warm, you haven't mastered your emotions, you haven't understand life, and you haven't understand the ethics.